Bhagavad Gita English session. Now I request our Aditi, are you there? Aditi is there? No. Prabhakant, can you please chant Dhyana Shloka?
अस्तु महोदय। ॐ अथ ध्यानम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। भक्तसुधीर्भोक्ता
Parvati
दुग्धं
Bhagini, please mute. Parvati, please mute.
Yes.
दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजल गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोऽतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवाः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः अर्जुनविषादयोगः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय।
Dhanyavada Mahodaya. Welcome all for English session of Bhagavad Gita. So we know that last week we just revised all the 3 chapters, and today we'll be starting 4th chapter, that is Jnana Yoga, and it's also called as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So last chapter we have seen that Krishna says Arjuna that there are two types of duties. One is niyata karma and one more is kamya karma. Niyata karma is prescribed duty, so we must do, there is no choice. But kamya karma we have choice. If we like to do it, we can do it. Otherwise it's like hobby, or it's like additional name, fame, anything. If we want, then we can do it. But prescribed duty, we cannot run away from it. And for Arjuna, fighting the war is his prescribed duty. And because Arjuna was thinking that it is because of personal enmity, this war was being fought. That's why he had that confusion. And Krishna says that no, it's not. If you think that you are taking revenge on Duryodhana for whatever he has done, then you feel really sad and you will be in confusion. But this war is for establishment of dharma. So it is nowhere related to your personal life, and it is nowhere related to take revenge or anything like that. That's why. So there are no personal interest in this. You are doing it to protect your motherland and establish dharma. So you have to fight this war. So Krishna told all the three chapters in different ways to convince Arjuna. But then also at the end of third chapter also, Arjuna is not fully convinced, and he is not fully ready to make up his mind to fight the war. He is not telling that, okay, Arjuna, I am convinced and I'll fight the war. No, at this point, he is not telling that. So he's not at convinced, or even if he's convinced, but then also he has not gathered enough courage to fight, or he's not able to make up his mind to take a right decision. So then it is the same thing happened to us also, because we people, even after knowing the meanings of all this Atma Tattva and the transient nature of our bodies, our lives, and this the secret of Karma Yoga and Sthita Prajna, in spite of knowing all these things, still almost we are there only where we were in the beginning. Like even today, when we get some shocking news, we sink, and when we get some good news, we rejoice. And still we need to uh, uh, travel a lot or do lots and lots of sadhana to implement these things. To a person like Arjuna, who was in Dwapara Yuga, who was Krishna's cousin, for him only it's taking so much of time. And what about we people, those who are very normal, ordinary creatures? So the thing is, because Arjuna is not convinced, Krishna had to start fourth chapter. So there are 18 chapters, and by end of the 18th chapter, Arjuna is convinced and he gets ready to fight the war. For us also to see little transformation within us, so always we have to see, we have to compare with ourselves. How was our thought process before we started reading Bhagavad Gita, and how is the thought process after completing the 18 chapters? So always we should compare to ourselves. So then there will be some changes, there will be some transformation, definitely by the end. But to get more benefit, each and every one of us should read all the 18 chapters. So that's why for Arjuna also, after third chapter, even though he was convinced or he understood, but still he is not ready to fight. So there was a need of little more advice for this Arjuna. That's why Krishna starts the fourth chapter. Mahodaya, Pathatu.
अस्तु महोदय। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः ज्ञानयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययं विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्।
धन्यवाद महोदय. So imam avyayam yogam vivasvate aham proktavan. Imam, this, avyayam, imperishable, indestructible, yogam, this yoga, aham, I, vivasvate, to Surya, to Vivasvat, aham, I told this to Surya earlier. This yoga which I taught you, that karma yoga, so I taught this to Surya earlier. And Vivaswan Manave Praha, Vivasvat told it to his son Manu, and Manuhu Ikshwakave Abravit. Manu told it to Ikshwaku. So he says, I imparted this imperishable knowledge to Vivaswan, and who gave that same knowledge to Manu, and Manu gave it to Ikshwaku. So that is the translation of this shloka. So he says that I told this yoga, which is imperishable, indestructible, to Surya long ago, he says. And what is that? What is that Avyaya yoga? That is the same. That is doing work with nishkama karma, without any expectation, doing the work, and having balanced state of mind, that is samatva or buddhi yoga, and do karma with 100% attention, and putting 100% effort, but then also do not expect anything out of it. So Krishna is telling all these things. It is not the first time. I have told it many times earlier, and I may have to tell it later also, in future also I may have to tell. And this is universal truth. It is standard. It will never get perished, because may it be Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga, it remains the same. That rule will not change. That's why he's telling it is imperishable. So because it is the same, the niyama, the rule, the ethics are same for all the yugas, all the eras. So it will never get distracted. So it is like, and this rule, this yoga, this karma yoga will be, it is there always. This is there forever, as Krishna says. Like how in this materialistic world also, there are so many rules, there are so many theories, but man has not discovered everything. So gradually, in each century, he will be inventing or discovering new things, isn't it? So like for example, I can tell you about Newton. So Newton discovered the gravitational law of gravitational forces and all those things. That doesn't mean that this gravitational force was not there before Newton. It is because of gravitational force we have all planet, solar system, all the planets revolving around a sun, and earth revolving around sun, and then moon revolving around earth, and all these things are because of gravitational force. But only after Newton we came to know about it. But it was there already. That rule was there already. That force was there already. In the same way, in this adhyatmika prapancha also, this karma yoga is there every time, ever, forever. It is there. It is avyaya. But what happens is, uh, time to time we need someone to come and tell us to that, because it goes on diluting, it goes on diminishing, because there may be people, we may not find people, those who show interest in learning these things. So it becomes nashtaha, that we'll be learning in the next sloka. So that's why we may need someone to reintroduce that to us. So it is there always. The Krishna is telling that it will be there forever. Like suppose radio waves, we know that, so they're already there in the air, but only when we tune our radio or transistor to that particular frequency, we will get to hear the music. In the same way, in this adhyatmika prapancha, in this spiritual world also, if we tune ourselves to to that frequency, then we'll get the music of spirituality. That is only in our hand that we should tune. So Krishna is telling, if you don't understand, it's not that it is not there, it is there already, but we have to understand those things. We have to tune to that frequency so that we will get that spiritual music. So that's what he's telling. And then next line he says that, yeah, he says that he told it to Surya, and Surya told it to Manu, and Manu told it to Ikshvaku. Who are all these people? So these are Surya Vamsha kings. So Krishna tells it to kings first, or the Kshatriyas first, because kings used to be the Sarvadikaris in those days. So, and he was Nirankusha Prabhu in that Karma Kshetra. He used to be in Prachanda Karma Kanda, that is very active. He used to be involved in that active work, active duty, prescribed duty. He had to be the king, he had to be the Senani, that is a warrior, and he had to be a judge, and he used to do all the things together. So it is huge responsibility. It was a huge responsibility for a king to take decisions. That's why he needs karma yoga more than anybody else. So Krishna feels that a king is a person who does so many things, so he needs this karma yoga. That's why he taught it first it is said that he taught it first to the kings or kshatriyas. And many times we people feel that this Bhagavad Gita or karma yoga, so it is for old people. So we many times we say that after retirement I will learn Bhagavad Gita, after retirement I will see some spiritual books. But actually the need is for the youngsters, the one who are active in their karma kanda, because the students, so they need this karma yoga. They should learn how to accept the marks that they get. They need to learn how they should not feel sad, how they should not go into depression. So they have to accept their marks, that is nishkama karma. They have to put 100% effort in writing the examination, but they should not be attached to the results. So that is very, very important thing the student should learn. And then those who are in IT industries, so they should also learn how to face that stress or the pressure that is caused by because of various reasons. So there is a need that is the need of the hour, that they should come out of it, how they can have peaceful, calm and relaxed, light heart in spite of having so much of work pressure. So it is, this karma yoga is for the people those who are in prachanda karma kanda, because the way it is taught in the battlefield. That shows that it is needed for the people those who are totally engrossed in active life. So it is not for the people those who are not doing karma, for old people or those who are sannyasis, those who are in caves, those who are in forest. So they do very less karma. So if karma is only not done, then what is meaning of nishkama karma? So one who is doing lots and lots of karma, so for them nishkama, the theory of nishkama karma works. That's why so here this shloka, where Krishna says that I told it to Surya, and then he told it to Manu, and then he told it to Shwaku, that shows that people, those who are young, so for them this karma yoga is very, very essential. So that's a wrong thing, that is a myth, that people who are aged should read Bhagavad Gita, or when I get retirement after that I'll read Bhagavad Gita, is a wrong understanding. So one should read it when the children are young. For them only we should teach this karma yoga, because they have to do put their 100%, and then they should not expect any result. Karmanne vadikaraste. So then he says that mate sangos akarmani. So because you are not expecting anything, any result, then why you should do work? That also they shouldn't do. So all these things are needed for the youngsters. So that's what we can take a message from this shloka. Agre patatu mahodaya.
अस्तु महोदय। एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप।
Yeah. So, evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayah viduhu sa kalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha parantapa. So, evam, like this, like how Surya tells to his son and his son tells to his son. So, in this same way, so imam yogam rajarshayah viduhu. So, rajarshayah means we know rajarshis. So, they understood this. But what happened? Kalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha, he parantapa, he Arjuna. So somehow after some time, this became actually nashtaha is destroyed. But we'll see why Krishna is telling like that. So he is telling that this yoga has come from parampara, generation to generation. So the knowledge, it flows down from one person to another person. So we know that in the ancient time, there were no pens or papers or any typing or print media. Nothing, was printing was not there, typing was not there, nothing was there. And the huge responsibility of the Brahmins, the sages, the Rishi Munis, was to preserve these Vedas and carry forward it to next generation. So impart that knowledge to next generation. So that was a huge responsibility. Every guru, he used to be always in search of a good student. So then he used to pass that knowledge to that next generation. And that's why from year to year and then mouth to mouth, that's why the Vedas, the one more name for Vedas is Shrutaha, Shrutis. Shrutis means Shrutaha, one which is heard. That's why Vedas are also called as Shrutis. The knowledge which is preserved mouth to mouth or ear to ear, that's why they are called as Shrutis. It is like lighting another candle before the first one melts down, before that is put off. So lighting another candle, like that, they used to impart the knowledge in their lifetime. They used to make sure that there is one more person who can continue his legacy. So that was the thing, parampara praptam. And then Rajarshayo Viduhu. So last week only I had told you who is Rajarshi, Raja Rushiriva, a king who used to be like a Rushi, who used to lead a life like Rishi. We know that for Rishis, only thing is that they used to do was dhyana, jnana, adhyana, such things. They used to stay away from the social life and all those things we have seen. And but for a king, he has to do so many things. He has to do all the laukika karmas as a king. He has to rule sitting on simhasan. He had to fight in the battlefield, and he has to listen to the complaints that come from civilians. And but still he had to be nisanga, detached from worldly things, worldly affairs. He had to do everything, but within, from the heart, he had to be nisanga. So such a person was called as a Rajarshi. Whatever comes in life, so he should never lament for that. He should never feel sad, or he should never get attached to anything. So such a person was called as Rajarshi. So such people knew this Karma Yoga. So already we know that Janakaraja, Ambarisha, Prahlada, Ikshwaku, all these Manu, and all these people, they are Rajarshis. So then Krishna says in the second line, Saha Kalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha, he says. So for a thing to get destroyed, actually here we shouldn't take it as destroyed, because in the previous shloka only Krishna says that it is avyayam, it is imperishable. Here he is telling that it is nashtaha, so there is a contradiction. So it is not nashtaha, it is not destroyed totally. Even today we are studying this, it's not destroyed, but it gets diluted. So how it happens, we'll see. So for that to be declined, we can call it as declined or diminished. The reason is, we can, there may be two reasons. One is there may be deficit of people, those who learn it, and one more is understanding it in a wrong way. So as we see today, very few people take interest in learning these things, Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad or Vedas. So they are not popular. So people are more attracted towards the bhogaishwaryas, materialistic lives. So people are not showing interest in reading Bhagavad Gita and such things. So in the same way, in Dwapara Yuga also, during the Mahabharata war also, there were few people who knew this yoga. So that's why Krishna had to take incarnation and reintroduce this. And one more reason may be, there may be some people, those who understand it in a wrong way. So understand it in a wrong way means what happens, then they may teach it to some people, so then it becomes diluted. Like how Ganga river, when it flows from Himalaya, it will be very pure, isn't it? So it will be very clean, very clear water, parishuddha jalam bhavati. Nantaram, what happens is, when it passes through the villages, towns, and cities, so people just throw everything, waste and dead bodies and so many things into it. It becomes contaminated. So the influence of purity of Ganga, it becomes diluted. The purity of Ganga becomes diluted when it passes through cities, towns, or villages. So in the same way, when this Bhagavad Gita or Karma Yoga, it is uh, misunderstood by some people and taught in the same way, then that also becomes diluted. So for these two reasons, the main reason is for the deficit of the people, those who show interest in this. Because of that, it becomes unpopular. So very rarely, very few people. So it was even in today's modern world also, there may be so many reasons. Because of foreign intruders and all those things, the Sanatana Dharma is diminishing, because people think that it's of no use, it's not getting us jobs or anything, so it is getting diminished. So that is, he says that kalena iha mahata yogaha nashtaha parantapa. So it is getting diluted, it is getting diminished. It is because of deficit of people, those who are showing interest, that there are no learners for this knowledge, so it is getting diminished, says Krishna. And then he says in the future shlokas that that is the purpose of his incarnation, to reintroduce this yoga to the people. Mahodaya, agre pathatu.
अस्तु महोदय। स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्।
धन्यवाद। सह एव अयं मया ते अद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं हि एतत् उत्तमम्. He says. So, sa eva, that old, puratanaha, that old yoga only, maya te adya proktaha. Today, whatever I have told you till now, no, this karma yoga and sankhya yoga, whatever I told you, no, today. So, that is not new thing. I'm not teaching anything new. It is puratanaha. I'm teaching you the puratana yoga only, which already exists. And then why? And he gives the reason in the next line, because you are my bhakta and sakha, you are my friend. That's why I'm teaching you this rahasya and uttama yoga. So in the first sloka, he gave the adjective to yoga as avyaya, and now it is rahasya and uttamam. We'll see the meanings of each and every word. So Krishna is telling that it is puratan, it's ancient, it's not new. I'm not teaching you anything new. This is merging with God, with karma yoga, or with nishkama karma, that is doing our prescribed duty without any expectation. So this is not new. This is already there, and already so many people have elevated themselves by moving in this path, and they are benefited by it. It's not something new. That's why Krishna is telling that it is very common that when someone says that I'm not telling you anything new, so I have tried it, I have experienced it, it is good, so you can also try it. Someone says that, then we believe, we trust them. So Krishna is also using that to convince Arjuna. He's telling that it's not new. So many people have already elevated themselves by moving on in this path. So you also can just implement this in your life. Uh, so then Krishna gives the reason why I'm teaching this, because you are my devotee, you are my friend, he says. And Krishna, we know that Krishna and Arjuna were first cousins. They were very close to each other. They were friends. But till now, till this Mahabharata Yuddha, Krishna had never revealed this spiritual path, or this spirituality, or this knowledge to Arjuna. Even though they were close friends, they had spent so many days or years together, they had spent so much of time, but time had not come. We say, no, for everything time should come. So suitable time was not there, it had not come. That's why Krishna had not revealed. In life, to understand these adhyatmika tattvas, we should get a right time. Our mind should become pakwa, that is, we should have that maturity of the mind, bauddhika prabuddhata it is called as. If that prabuddhata, if that maturity is not there, then we will not understand anything in this spirituality. It is like if a person is hungry, and if you give him food, only then if he is hungry, only then he'll accept that, he'll enjoy that, he'll appreciate that. If that hunger is not there, if the thirst is not there for knowledge, then they'll just ignore it. So that's what uh, happened to Arjuna also. That's why Krishna had never thought of teaching that to Arjuna, because that time had not come. And what I feel is, for all of us also, that hunger has started, the thirst has started. That's why we people, every week 1 hour we are spending on this Bhagavad Gita. So even if it is late, but it is better than never, they say, no. So like that, it has started, the time has come for us. Slowly we are getting hunger of knowledge, we are getting some thirst of knowledge. That's why we people are here. So for Arjuna also, Krishna, it has he has got that hunger, that thirst for knowledge. It has started, his mind has become matured. Time has come for Krishna to give advice or impart knowledge to Arjuna. And Krishna has become his shishya. Arjuna has become his shishya. So Arjuna says in the second chapter only, we have seen Shishyasteham Shadi Mam Tam Prapannam Yat Shreyaha Nishchitam Bruhitanme. So he says, exactly, accurately, you tell me what I should do, because Shishyasteham. So I am your student, and then Shadi Mam Tam Prapannam, I totally surrender myself to you. So now Arjuna is a new student for Krishna. And when Arjuna says that I am your student and I totally surrender myself to you, so then now Krishna makes up his mind that I should elevate this person, I should advise this person. And also he says that Sakha me, Sakha cha me, you are my friend. So it is said that friend in need is a friend indeed. So here, if a friend, he never wishes the best thing for his close friend, then that's not called as friendship. So Krishna, he should have thought that I have spent so much of time in advising everything to Arjuna. So 3 chapters are done. I told him about Atma Tattva, I told him about Karma Yoga, everything, whatever from my side would have been done, I have done it. And then also, if he is not convinced, what can I do? It is his fate. So Krishna should have left him there only. You take decision about your life. No, because he's his friend. So Krishna thinks that I should I should elevate him. I should make sure that he comes out of depression. So till he comes out of depression, Krishna stands with his friend because he is friend also and he is his Shishya also. That's why Krishna thinks that I should continue this advice so that Arjuna may take some time, but Krishna was sure that he'll come out of it after some time. So then next is Guru. So here he says, no, Shishya. So what are the duties of Guru? So a guru, he had to preserve the knowledge. As we discussed earlier, in those days there were no written documents, so he had to preserve the knowledge and spread the knowledge. So before preserving, he had to understand it properly, and then out of his experience, if he has found some new things, he used to add it to them. Those the previously existing theories, he used to add something if he has found something or discovered something. And then a good teacher, always he used to be in search of a good student. So in earlier in Puratana Kala, there used to be Gurukula system, as you all know. So 12 years student used to stay in Guru's house only. So Guru used to get sufficient time to observe all the students individually. So he had time to give attention to the details of each and every child. And then he used to decide, because he had a huge responsibility of transferring all the knowledge to a yogya student, a suitable student. So yogya means that is one who will understand and one who will use the knowledge given by his guru, and one who will not misuse that, and one who will carry forward it to next generation. So that person is called as yogya. And guru had to make sure that that knowledge will not go into wrong hands, ayogya. So that knowledge shouldn't go in the wrong hands. So that was a huge responsibility for a guru. In his the goal of his lifetime used to be, whatever he has learnt, he has to search a good student, and he has to transfer everything, whatever knowledge he had, everything he had to transfer it to that person. And he should make sure that that knowledge is not misused, which was very, very important. All of us know that in Mahabharata what happens. So usage of Brahmastra, Dronacharya had taught only to Arjuna, but uh, Ashwathama is very upset by this, and Ashwathama started arguing with his father that I am your son and we are not taught this. And finally Dronacharya succumbed to Putra Vyamoha. So then he taught it to Ashwathama also. At the end of the Mahabharata war, Ashwathama uses that Brahmastra. And Arjuna also, to take revenge on Ashwathama, he also uses. And then Vedavasa comes and scolds. This Brahmastra is not for your personal enmity. Brahmastra is like the modern era's nuclear bombs. So that is not to use it, that is just to have it with us. It is knowledge, but we should never use it. It is just for others to threaten, that is to show that we are powerful, we are strong, just for that, so that no one should harm us, no one should harm our motherland. For that purpose we should keep it, but we should not use it for destruction. So Vedavasa steps in and asks both of them to withdraw that Brahmastra. Arjuna could withdraw that, but Ashwathama couldn't do that. Instead, he says that it cannot be wasted, it cannot go like that only without killing anybody. So he directs it to Uttara's womb, and then again Krishna steps in and protects Uttara's womb, and Ashwatthama thought that he will do Pandava's Vansha Nirvansha, but Krishna comes and protects that child who is named as Parikshita later. So you all know it. So that is why it was so important to search a Yogya Shishya, one who can understand, preserve, but use it but not misuse it, and also transfer that to the next generation. That was a huge responsibility of the Guru in those days. So then, next line he says that Rahasyam etad uttamam. So some of the vidyas used to be secret vidyas, like how I told about Brahmastra and other things. And one more meaning for Rahasya is Pavitra, holy. As far as Karma Yoga is concerned, the meaning Pavitra will be suitable. If some war skills are concerned, there may be some Rahasya vidyas. So here Rahasya means which is Pavitra. And when we say something is Pavitra, holy or sacred, then like for example saligrama or something, so we keep it in God's room, we don't bring it to drawing room, we don't keep it on dining table, isn't it? So we maintain some serenity or some pavitra of that. So in the same way, this vidya, this karma yoga, it is very very uttamam, and then rahasyatamam, he says rahasyam. So it is very pure, very holy, very sacred. That's why I'm teaching it to you, because you are my bhakta and you are my sakha. So I'm teaching it to you, hey Arjuna. So Krishna says that that is the reason why I'm teaching it to you. So then, please continue, Mahoday.
अस्तु महोदय। अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयां त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति।
So Arjuna asks Krishna. Arjuna is so surprised. So he's telling, hey Krishna, aparam bhavato janma, param janma vivasvataha. Your birth is so recent. You are my contemporary. You are now in front of me. And you are telling that you taught it to Surya earlier. How it is possible? Surya is so ancient and you are my contemporary. And katham etad vijaniyam. How can I understand this? Tvam adau proktavaniti. How can I understand? How can I believe that you have taught it to Surya? Because Surya is long ago such an ancient person he is, and you are my cousin, you are my friend, you are my contemporary, and how it is possible that how can you teach him? How can you become guru to Surya? So Arjuna is stunned, he's shocked. So he's asking that. Why Arjuna is asking that? Because Arjuna has got limited knowledge. Arjuna is an ordinary person like we all. He knows only about what happens after his birth till his death. So, what is going on in front of our eyes, only that much Arjuna knows. But uh, Krishna is totally different. So, when Krishna says that before many lives, before many births, before many janmas, I have taught it to Surya, Ikshvaku, Manu, and all those things. So Arjuna is really surprised, and then he is asking how it is possible from Ado Proktavaniti. So then now Krishna reveals the about this Punarjanma Tattva to Arjuna. Uh, Mahodaya Pathatu.
अस्तु महोदय। श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप।
So he says, Bahuni me vetitani janmani tava charjuna. Hey Arjuna, Bahuni me vetitani. I have spent so many janmas. I have spent, so I have taken birth so many times. And Tavacha Arjuna, even you, not only me, even you have taken so many births on this earth. And even I have spent so many births on this earth. I have taken birth so many times on this earth. Tani aham veda sarvani. I know all those things. Natvam vetta parantapa. But you don't know. You don't understand these things. So, first time Krishna is telling that he is somewhat very, very different from Arjuna. Because all these days Arjuna was thinking that he's his cousin. Krishna was thinking that he may be one or two. Arjuna was thinking that Krishna may be few years elder than me, he may be knowing little more than me, but he never thought that he is Avatari Purusha. He never thought that he knows everything about past Janmas. Actually, Arjuna is shocked now, and Krishna is revealing little bit by bit. And earlier also he had told that Natvevaham Jatunasam, Natvam Neme Janadipaha. We have seen this in Sankhya Yoga. So he told that it's not that I was not there earlier. It was not that you were not there earlier. Natvam neme janadipaha. It is not that these kings, janadipaha, these kings were not there earlier. Means I was also there earlier, you were also there earlier, and all these kings were also there. Long ago also these kings were there. Na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. It's not that we'll not be there in future also. Means we'll be there in future also. So in Sankhya Yoga only, Krishna has told that all of us were there earlier, all of us are here today, and all of us will be in future. So he had told that, but again he is repeating that because Arjuna is asking, how come I believe? How can I believe that you have taught this to Surya? So Krishna is telling that both of us had so many births on this earth, on this land, but I remember, but you don't remember. So that is the difference between Arjuna and Krishna. Because Krishna is Sakshat Bhagavan, and then he has stepped down, like how we come down from the first floor to the ground floor, make through the steps so easily, and it is our choice, like how we come. In the same way, Krishna comes down, he takes avatara, he takes incarnation. But Arjuna is not like that. Arjuna has passed through so many lives. He has done papa and punya, and whatever samskara, what is sanchita karma he has done, according to that, he is getting janana and he is getting marana vidhivashat. Nothing is his choice. So according to his papa punya, according to his sanchita karma, he is getting lives, and he is ajnani, he doesn't know all these things. But Krishna is coming like a sudhyani, Arjuna is coming like a ajnani. That's why Arjuna doesn't know anything, but Krishna knows everything of his past lives. So because Krishna is avatari purusha, so here Krishna is revealing about himself to Arjuna. So this Arjuna is crawling in Ajnana. So whatever is happening in front of him, only that much he knows. And sometimes for us also and Arjuna also, we remember only some important things of this life itself. We don't remember minute details of what happened some 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So this forgetting or not remembering the past is a boon for us. So that God has given us, God is so kind, he has given us a boon called as forgetting. Because if we remember everything, then we may go mad. So it's impossible for us to lead life if we don't forget things. So we may sink because of the weightage of the thoughts of the past memories. That's why we don't have ability to face those things. That's why God has given us that of this our own, this one life only, we are trying to forget the past. What about the past lives, so many janmas? So what God has given us, that is, if this life is ended, we'll forget everything. We'll take new costume, new body, and we forget everything of past life. So that is a boon given for us. Otherwise, it's impossible to continue the life if we know everything what has happened in the past. But Siddhi Purushas, it is said in Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutra, written by Maharshi Patanjali, that for some Siddhi Purushas, so they focus their mind on the samskaras done in the past life, and they can get the memory of the past life. It is said like that, and they are called as Jatismara. And because these Siddhi Purushas have the ability to witness the things of their past lives, that is, they treat themselves as a third person. So they can see what they have done in their past lives. And they have the ability to face them with courage. And such people are called as Siddhis. And we have read in the our scriptures about this, some Maharshis and some people, Veda Vyasa, and those people, they had the knowledge Trikaladhyani we call them. So they had the knowledge of past lives, but not the ordinary people. And for ordinary people like Arjuna or us, it is a boon that not remembering the past or forgetting the past is a boon. That's why Krishna is telling, Tani aham veda sarmani, I know all those things, natvam vetha parantapa. So Arjuna, he doesn't know or he doesn't remember of his past lives, but Krishna remembers everything, and that's why Krishna was there when Surya was there, and Krishna is here when Arjuna is there. So that's what one by one Krishna reveals about himself in this chapter. So we'll continue next week. Dhanyavad.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ. ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗಿನಿ.
धन्यवाद सर्वेभ्यः.
ಭಗಿನಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಸಹನಾವವತು ಸಹನೌ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಸಮಸ್ತಲೋಕಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಸಮಸ್ತಲೋಕಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಸಮಸ್ತಲೋಕಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸನ್ಮಂಗಳಾನಿ ಭವಂತು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸರ್ವೇಭ್ಯಃ.
So Parayana